Good morning, class. Today I'm going to be going over briefly the lab that I chose for week 2. If you'll notice on your screen, the original image is on the right and my recreation is on the left. So let's first discuss why I chose this particular piece of art. It is entitled Le Petit Fleur. It is by Pablo Picasso. And the real reason why I chose this is plain and simple. My artistic abilities are incredibly lacking. I'm more of a writer and less of a painter or less of an artist. So I chose this painting because I felt like it was something that I could tackle relatively easy. And even that, I kind of overestimated how easy this painting was going to be to take on. So let's go ahead and start with my process. So step 1 for me was to create the border, which I did struggle with in the beginning. It took me, I'm not going to lie, about 10-15 minutes to figure out how to put together the border. Embarrassing, I know, but like I said, I'm not an artist at all. I did try to use the pen tool to create the outline of the border, but I couldn't get it right. I couldn't get it to where I wanted it to be. So I went to YouTube and I figured out that by using the rectangular tool and putting a zero fill, I could simply just manipulate the stroke weight and create the illusion of a border. So that is what I chose to do, and that is how I did the border. The next step for me was to create the hands, and that is because the hands do overlap much of the art. So once again, I tried to use the pencil tool. I couldn't really figure out how to stop lines from disappearing, like my friend Timothy in our lab mentioned. I was having the same issue. Obviously, I've since then figured it out. I don't know what the issue was, but it seems to have fixed itself. But because of that difficulty, I did ultimately choose the paintbrush tool, and I feel like that was the best choice for this particular piece of art, because if you'll notice, the lines really flow in this painting. There really aren't any straight edges to be seen, and utilizing this paint tool, I was really able to control the curves even by using the touch screen on my computer. I was able to utilize those curves nicely and implement those curves into the painting nicely by using the paint tool. So I did use the 5-point round uniform, about half point for the hands. And then when it came to the stems, I switched up my 5-point round to this charcoal feather and switched the weight to 0.25. And see, hold on a second, let me go back and grab that paintbrush. See how nicely that just allows you to create those just beautiful, delicate stems that you're trying to recreate from the original. I just really loved how those turned out. And then I did go back to that 5-point round for the flowers, and I simply just colored in and then increased the thickness for the petals. And so that's how I produced this recreation. I felt like I did a pretty good job, especially not being very strong in the art department. It was definitely challenging for me, which is good. It's good that it was outside of my comfort zone, because once you step outside of your comfort zone, that's when you're going to really see real growth. So I learned quite a bit about Adobe Illustrator. YouTube has been such a huge tool for me to learn Adobe Illustrator. Honestly, I learn better by watching and then doing, and less by reading and doing. That's just how my brain works. So YouTube has been a huge tool for me in figuring out Adobe Illustrator. So anyways, this is my recreation, and I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you.